But one story that's kind of popped up over the last 12 to 15 hours on Oilers Twitter and online, Derek Ryan was on Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer, famously used to be at noon. Gotcha, Bob.
But now you can listen to both shows.
Yeah, you can get us and Bob live and not miss anything. I think that's a massive win for you, the audience. But anyways, Derek Ryan is on. And I mean, listen, Bob does a great job of getting guys like this and getting good answers. Derek Ryan talking about, Bob asked him point blank, are the Edmonton Oilers still an authentic Stanley Cup contender? And Derek Ryan kind of went like, yes, but... and his yes, but was, quote, they need to find a way to give these depth players, pause, a role, a chance to be successful. And he added not just Connor and Leon, but the players who don't play with Connor and Leon is kind of what he meant. It's like, not just having Hyman and Nuge have a role and all these guys. He said the players who aren't with Connor and Leon, they need to have a role. They need to have a chance to be successful. Did you listen to the comments?
I saw that. I did. I was actually napping when Derek Ryan was on. I had to get my afternoon nap in.
The way he phrases it is very interesting to me.
Okay.
And listen, I don't think for a second Derek Ryan was here and like behind the scenes making a stink about things. But you and I had both heard he wasn't overly thrilled about his role in the final season. He continued to be a good soldier and be a good teammate. But, you know, when they sent him down to Bakersfield, there were more than a few rumblings going around that Derek Ryan was like, what the hell are you guys doing to me right now?
Yeah, I ain't playing here.
So to hear him come out and kind of speak as strongly as he did wasn't overly surprising. So I guess my question to you, it's not sour grapes because Derek Ryan was retiring at the end of the year anyways, and he obviously had success here in Edmonton. He chose to re-sign in Edmonton after his first deal, all of that stuff. But do you think that the sentiment Derek Ryan has, do you think that's something that is shared by maybe even some guys who are still on the team and struggling? Does it tell us anything, or is it a nothing burger?
No, it's definitely not a nothing burger for a player who was like so recently on the team to come out and say it with the current staff still intact. Well, just Knobloch, I guess, and Mark Stewart. I think that they kind of are establishing roles a little bit more now as the season has progressed here. I mean, look at the bottom six the other night. It was Savoy, who wasn't here last season, Brozovic, who wasn't here, Szymanski, a new player, Lazar wasn't here, Frederick. Yaremchuk's the only common player in all of this. So there is, I think, as the season has progressed, the idea of like, okay, we need to find where these guys go. I think that fourth line has done a good job, the three of them themselves, to identify as like, this is where we should play, and we should play together, and we play well together. Two of them obviously playing pivotal roles on the penalty kill, and Lazar and Yaremchuk. Frederick, they should probably try him out there. I would agree with Ryan on that one. But I mean, I think they're just trying to find the identity of a third line. I just don't think they have the players to necessarily have that identity right now. So I think it's a bit of both. We'll see what happens when the playoffs come around, because I think back to last year, it's like Connor Brown was awesome. Like he forced his way to play more minutes. And I think on some nights, like you can argue minutes all you want, and I think it's fair to do that. Sometimes even in the minutes these guys have played, they do nothing. So I think it's a bit of both. I don't think Knobloch's doing a good job with it. I don't think he's doing a terrible job either.
I do agree with you that it's a bit of both, and it is a little bit of like a chicken and egg debate here. The Anders comments, he isn't wrong. How do you play? I'm assuming he means how do you play well when you sit on the bench for 8 minutes straight? Need to get more guys on the PK. That is one element of this conversation, I think. And it's part of the reason why I've always said, like, I actually don't like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl going out on the penalty kill, and it has nothing to do with like how good they are at it. It's just purely because that's an opportunity to get guys out there, feel like they're in the game, and feel like there is a part of the team that they own and actually make like a strong, meaningful contribution to on a game-to-game basis. And when you look at the minutes this year, you know, he does it well with some guys. Like Matt Savoy leads the Oilers forward group in PK time on ice.
And he's done that all year.
All year.
And he's been a guy, I think, that when people scream and shout about Szymanski, Howard, Hudson, you never talk about Savoy's minutes.
Nope.
He's been Knobloch's given all season because he shows up every single game.
And I would add that it's not a coincidence that even when Matt Savoy's offense struggles, you never hear a peep from, I mean, you and I are Matt Savoy fans, and of course we don't like really look for reasons to complain about him or anything, but there's a reason why when Matt Savoy struggles offensively, the fan base seems to give him a bit of a longer leash than when other guys have struggled the exact same way. Like, is there a massive difference between the offensive production that you've seen this year from Matt Savoy and Andrew Mangiapane? I mean, like, not overly, if we're being totally honest, right? But one guy has found a way to contribute in a meaningful way on the PK. One guy hasn't. Mangiapane, 6 goals, 6 assists in 47 games on the year. Matt Savoy this season, 9 goals, 9 assists in 54 games. So again, like, he's been better. I'm not trying to like tell anyone not, but like when he goes through a dry spell, you don't hear a massive peep about it. Now, part of that is Andrew Mangiapane, not a great penalty killer. Like, how about this for a number? In 17 PK minutes this season, Mangiapane's been on the ice for 5 goals against. Savoy, 87 minutes, only 11 goals against. So we're talking, 4.5 times the minutes and only 2 times the goals against. Adam Henrique, I think he's almost similar too. He's second on the team in PK time on ice. And like, I still get frustrated with him when he's not producing, but you can at least sit and point to a role that he is playing. It's why Matthias Janmark has a long leash with this team, even though he barely scores as well. I don't know, is there maybe an opportunity to give some other guys those minutes? Like Connor McDavid is 5th on the team in PK time on ice. Leon Draisaitl is 7th on the team, forwards, in PK time on ice. Like, maybe you want McDavid closer down to those Leon minutes when it comes to shorthanded time. Yeah, you can put him out there for the final 20 seconds, but not the final 55 seconds, and give someone else that middle shift so that, again, first period, I'm sorry, I'm going on a long one here, but like, we talked about this with Szymanski the other day. And not that you want Szymanski killing penalties yet, but Szymanski basically couldn't get a shift for the bulk of that first period the other night because the whole game's power play or penalty kill, power play or penalty kill. Maybe you do need to ease off the minutes for a Nuge and a McDavid on the PK just so that you get some other guys in the game. And then when they get their 5-on-5 shift, they're not sitting there being like, oh my God, I haven't been up on my feet in 7 minutes.
Yeah, well, it was even the thing. Yeah, I would agree. I think that's one way to do it, and the PK is an easy spot to have that happen. I think our PK has been better recently as well. Like, besides the last game, it was dogfire. Dogfire. Yeah.
New quote?
Well, do you imagine that, though? That would be
Dogs on Fire would be chaotic and terrible.
Bad and chaotic.
Okay, I like it. I'm in.
Dogfire.
Took a little convincing to me.
No one else on that one. The PK is 15th in the NHL. Mm-hmm. Top half of the league. It's nothing special. I think that someone put in there like Knobloch hates playing the young guys. It's just not true. Like, I think there needs to be the understanding of when these guys come up, you need to also understand your players.
Yeah.
And for Szymanski to come up and play, what was it, just shy of 8 minutes, whatever it was, it's not unrealistic for us to all sit there and be like, if you were in that position, be like, okay, I have a defensive zone draw. Do I want to put out Szymanski, who's been in for 5 minutes, or am I throwing out Curtis Lazar or Draisaitl or McDavid? It's like, yeah, I'm obviously putting out those guys because I know what they're going to do. I don't know what Szymanski's next move is. I think once the familiarity continues there, it might be a bit different. So I've always one of these guys who was here all summer. He's also the youngest player on the team, by the way, by a substantial amount. It's him, then it's Podkolzin. Szymanski's in there, but like, he's obviously not really on the team yet. So I think that's fine. Emberson's been on this team all season too. He's a young player. I just don't buy the idea. I like the idea of like getting more guys on the penalty kill though, and it's a way to bring down McDavid's minutes.
I understand the idea of like you want to get other guys a role and you need to get them to buy in. Like we saw in the playoffs, like what Brownmark featuring Rico, like they did everything on the PK and they became a huge part of the team. But I'm also a firm believer in you put the best players out there to kill penalties. And clearly Nobby believes that these other dudes are more qualified to kill penalties. You put your best foot forward, and I have a tough time, but it's that give and take balance of you got to help those other guys come along. But at the end of the day, you need your best killers out there.
I did find it very funny the other day, too, of like on the Amazon broadcast, they were talking about the Ducks going out in all these different situations. Like they're rolling lines. It's like, yeah, they've been in the offensive zone the entire third period. Yeah. Like, no shit, their fourth line's going to get a shift. They also just played the same amount of shifts as what the Oilers' fourth line did anyway, so it's not like they were doing anything too special. So I think there's always this idea of, like, the Oilers don't do it. I don't think many teams do it.
Yes and no. So I'm looking right now because Mulek had a comment where he said, like, you need to give the third line more ozone starts. part of this too is when we're sitting here like we do, or like any fan does, and you're thinking about the game on paper, the game that's 8 hours away, like in your head, the thought of like, I just need to give more offensive zone shifts to the third line. Like that sounds good until it's the third period and you're either down by one, up one, tied. Like you're in a close game. You get an ozone draw, maybe with the other team tired. And it's like, well, in that moment, you sit there and go, well, shit, I kind of want to put Connor on the ice because how big would a goal be right now? And I want to put him in position to score, put him in a good position to score. I'm looking at the ozone start percentages for the forward group at 5-on-5. Best ozone start percentage amongst qualified forwards this year, and there's 14 of them. Ike Howard, 68%. Best ozone start percentage on the whole team. Now, part of that wasn't so much that they gave him a ton of ozone starts. It was more they just definitely didn't trust him in the D zone, so he never got zone starts anywhere else.
They played to his strengths.
But yeah, I think, again, if we're going to knock Knobloch for all of this, we say, hey, he played to Howard's strengths. Hyman's 2, McDavid's 3, Kapanen 4, Podkolzin 5. Who's 6? Andrew Mangiapane. Again, starts 60% of his shifts in the ozone. Matt Savoy, 60% of his shifts in the ozone. Then it goes to Leon, then it goes to Nuge, then Roslovic at 52, where you could, again, maybe make a comment. Trent Frederick down at 12th. Like, if that's a guy who you want to get going, he starts less than half of his shifts in the ozone. Yeah, maybe you do need to throw a guy like that a few more bones, right? Like,
I disagree. I just think that that's his role. Like, they trust him. That, to me, says that they trust him to play in a defensive zone and to go win a draw for them. And that's what I would say is like that. Don't waste shifts on McDavid and Draisaitl in the defensive zone. Like, what's the point? To get it up to the O zone so your third line can come out and get it back in your D zone? Put them in the spots to succeed. McDavid and those top offensive players succeed in the O zone. Defensive, they're obviously going to get D zone draws too. I just think your fourth line, they're the fourth line. I don't give a shit if they score. Just don't get scored on. That's how I'm looking at it.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.